Hello and welcome to another episode of the So Here For It podcast. My name is Amy Mingan and today we are talking all about momentum and how to get in momentum, but most importantly, how we can gain some clarity by being in momentum. Because so many people come to me and they don't really know what to do straight away because they're already overwhelmed. It's not this lack of ideas that they have, they just don't know what to take action on first. So, by the end of today's episode, you're going to have some clarity. This is one of my superpowers, is helping my clients to gain clarity because I tell you what, if you are looking at other people's content, if you are inevitably comparing yourself to people who are at maybe chapter 100 compared to your chapter 1, it's inevitable that you're going to get overwhelmed because you're thinking that you have to do something the same as somebody else. But what you really need to do is the first most aligned step. That's actually all you need to do. So what we're going to do right now is figure out where you're currently at. I would say the vast majority of people who I talk to are fairly early on in business. They might get 1 or 2 clients a week. Then they're going to have a slow week. Then they might have a really big week. And they haven't got this consistency in business yet. And I want to say to you, you don't get consistent by just hoping. I used to live in hope. Like back in the day, back when I first started my clinic, I would sit there and I wouldn't know what to do. I'm like, maybe I need to do something. I wasn't on Instagram yet. I was on Facebook, but all I would do is kind of like lurk in different groups and try and find out like the secret to what made someone successful. I didn't know who to ask, and I certainly didn't know who to believe as far as like what was the thing that somebody who is new should be doing in order to build a business. Like literally all I wanted was some clients. And then I started putting myself out there. I would go to some meetings. At that stage, I was doing fertility. Great niche. If you're not sure what niche to do, do fertility. There's always people who want to get pregnant. There's always people having babies, right? So anyway, that's what I was doing. I was at that stage of my life. I was in my late 20s. I was very much in my having babies era. So it was very in alignment for me to be giving that sort of advice. So that's what I was into. That's what I was interested in. So I would go and meet some midwives. I would go and chat to people who were into the similar things as me. I would talk with mums and go to mums groups and go to yoga. But what I wasn't very good at was articulating who I was for. I wasn't very good at promoting myself. In fact, I kind of shied away from all of that because it felt so uncomfortable. So if you're at that stage right now, I've been there a long time ago, but I've been there and I get how awkward it is. I get how slow it can feel, and I can get how frustrating it can be for you. And I want you to know this, that if you don't currently know what to do, you need to start doing something. And I know that sounds like, but you just want to know the right answer. There is no right or wrong answer in this. You are the one who already has something inside of you, and it's about really finding a way to bring your gifts out, okay? You don't get more gifts just by reading a book. You don't get more gifts just by looking at social media. And you certainly don't get more gifts by listening to more podcasts. You get the gifts by discovering them through action. And you've got to take action on them because otherwise you don't know what you're good at. And you got to try lots of different things before you figure out that you're actually good at it. Like, lucky me. Like, what a blessing that I had to learn how to do marketing to realize how damn good I was at marketing. I was like, you know what? I probably should have been a marketer and not a naturopath. Like, I'm that good at it sometimes. I'm like, it just really interests me, right? I'm not your traditional naturopath. But what has made my clinic get consistent bookings was that I learned marketing, but I didn't know that I was good at it until I found out. So I'm not saying that you need to become a marketer, not at all, but you do need to know how to market yourself. You do need to know who you're talking to. You do need to have a very clear offer. And until you've tried a few things, you are not going to know what that is. And everybody starts out in the unknown. This is the big thing about being in business. This is the big thing about starting out. If you need to have a job, this is just a caveat. Like, if you need some certainty in your life and you need to have a job, then that's a really good idea while you're building up your business, because at different stages, I've had some part-time jobs along the way because it was stressful. Sometimes I would go like a month or two without seeing a client, or I'd have a few clients and then none. And it was very, very stressful when you had young kids and rent was due. And it was like, oh, I've paid that and I've paid that. And then there was nothing left in the bank account at the end of the week. And that's not the way I wanted to live. So I needed a part-time role to fill in that gap. That was my personal circumstance when my kids were really little, before I had this really great knowledge and awareness around who I love to help and how I help them, but also how I articulate that to them. I know where they hang out. I know what their problems are. I know how they speak about their problems, and I know how I help them solve those problems. And that's a really, really great thing. Hear how I'm talking right now? I'm currently like luteal. So if I fumble my words, that happens. But I haven't always been able to speak. I've been able to talk with people 100%, but in this way, like speaking straight to camera, articulating myself, being confident in the way that I say things, and really stepping out of that nervousness, that didn't happen by accident either. So I just want to tell you, like, if you're not currently filming yourself, if you're not talking, if you're not writing, it's very hard to get better at it. So at the very least, you need to write to yourself, about who you help, about the things that you're passionate about. All these different things are so important for you to embrace, because the sooner you do that, the sooner you're going to build confidence. The sooner you're going to have this version of you who all of a sudden has this different identity, who's looking at people and being able to articulate herself. Now, there is something so magical about that, because if you can be in front of anyone at any time and be able to say who you are, how you help, and the sorts of results that you get for people, that is amazing. People can be like, wow, I need you in my life straight away. They'll identify exactly with what you're going to help them with. Or they will know someone, because you might be reliant on word of mouth. And referrals are one of my favorite things, by the way. I love connecting people, but I also love it when people connect me with other people. I love it. It is actually one of the world's biggest compliments that you could give me. And it is one way that I share my generosity and abundance, is connecting people. So I love a referral. I know that most people, most practitioners, most service-based businesses build their businesses based on referrals. But that is not going to be the one and only thing, because you cannot control that. You cannot force anybody to recommend you. As much as I would love to, we cannot force those people to recommend us. Having said that, sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe that person's not coming back for XYZ. No, they've actually recommended me to everyone in their family or their work colleagues and everything. Like, I have had my clinic booked out by just a couple of really good referrers. So hold the faith that you are going to do a really good job one day, and then there will be people who refer to you. That is inevitable. But in the meantime, you've got to learn that marketing is important. You've got to learn how to articulate yourself and step out of the overwhelm, out of your head, and more into your body. And this is one of the things that I talk about a lot inside Woman of Value, my mastermind. I will go into your Instagram, for example. And this happened to one of the ladies yesterday. I had a call with her, and she's like, oh, give me the feedback. What do you think I can do? And I was like, well, when I was on your Instagram, I didn't see you. Where are you? She's like, I haven't talked to camera yet. Anyway, in the last 2 days since we saw each other, she has done 2 talk to cameras, which have tripled her views. Doesn't always happen like that, but hers are so specific to her audience, that are things that she shares all the time. And all of a sudden, there's a whole lot more views. There's a whole lot more engagement. And inevitably, there will be people who want to work with her for that specific niche. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go start talk to camera, but if it's the thing that's missing and that's the thing that you're avoiding, it's probably the thing that you're up to. A lot of the time, people think that they can just post like it's 2016 and it ain't going to work anymore. You can't just do you know how easy it used to be, where it was like, I used to be able to do these really pretty things on Canva, and it was so aesthetic, and it was just a quote, and that would get like 100 likes. It doesn't happen like that anymore. We have to articulate things. We have to be able to, the algorithm scans our face. It scans our words. It scans for keywords, and then it puts it out to an audience who it thinks fits that type of video or that type of carousel or that type of post. So if you're not currently putting in that little bit of strategy alongside what you're currently doing and there's none of you in it, that's probably why it's not being super appealing to people around you. My goal for you is to get a gold nugget out of this particular podcast episode, go and apply it, get a client, and even better, come to my masterclass on the 29th of July, magnetic and booked. You can win a prize if you stay till the end. It's the most delicious surprise. And if you do that, you can come in and let me know how that went for you. And you can come in and you can learn all about what is it like to actually attract clients through your social media as opposed to trying to chase them in the multitude of ways that we could do that in everyday life. There is something so powerful when not only are we getting referrals, we're also attracting leads in through our website, in through our contact button, in through our leads and freebies, and in through our emails. There's so many ways we can bring people in these days. And if you haven't got any or all of those, you need to come along to Magnetic and Booked. And if you're ready to jump in right now, come along to Woman of Value. I'm going to put the links below. It's free to come to the masterclass, and Woman of Value, you can enter for just a $200 deposit. So it never is this cheap. I want to make it super accessible for people. So come along, come into it. If you've got any questions at all, come and chat to me on social media at Amy Mingen. I am an open book. I love answering questions. I love responding to people. This is my gift. This is what I'm here to help you with. So if you want to build the best business that you actually love, come and message me. Come follow me. Let's do this. And I will see you on the next episode.